This is a brief tutorial on how to navigate the class site for any of Mr. Collins' classes. For this tutorial, I'm going to use the English 9 class site, but there's also sites for all of my other English classes, and they all look the same. I have the same setup for each so that if you're in any one of my other classes or you come back another year for a class, it's not having to relearn the blog or how it works. So this is one of the class sites. They're all at .blogspot.com. So this is LHS English 9. The beginning handle changes depending on the class, so you'll need to pay attention in class and get that off the board. Or if you look on the course brief sheet that you're given at the beginning of the course, it's up there. If you email me, I also put all of the class site links on the bottom signature of my email. So there's a variety of ways to have that. So class sites have this set up. It says the class name at the top of the page. And then I've recently added a feature here. It says get updates by email. And so you can come onto the class site once and enter your email address in this space where it says email address, click submit, and then it will email you the update for the site whenever I update the site, which is usually at the end of every day. So the class site is intended for people who miss a class. It summarizes and reviews what we did in class that day, providing links to any materials that we might have had. It links to handouts and homework and prompts on Google Drive so that you can download extra copies of all of the work and know its context. And so the main intent, again, is for people who miss class. And if you miss a class, you are expected to come on and check the blog. That can be done from home via the internet. It can be done from the library, and I have 6 computers in my classroom that people are free to come in and check. Even if I have another class going on, just check with me, and usually it's fine for somebody to come in and quietly access a computer in the back of the room. So just to go over a little bit of how the site is set up, the most recent posts are at the top of the page here. This class's most recent post was part 1 of their midterm. And then all of the posts are listed in reverse chronological or in chronological order. So here are all the posts, and there are 7 posts per page that you can scroll down and see. Beyond those 7 posts, if you look on the right, there's the blog archive, where it archives all of the posts by title. And I start each title with the date of that class, and then I try to give a title that describes the work we did in that class. And to help people find assignments, if there was a main assignment that was introduced on that day or that we did in class, I try to give the class site title that name so that it's easy for people to find. And you can see all the posts by clicking on these drop-down arrows. So those list all the things there. The setup to each post is pretty much the same throughout. There's what we did in class, and then there are links to other documents, so whether they're web pages that have other information or Google Drive documents, they're all listed here. So any blue text is text you can click on, and it will load that page. So for example, the freshman midterm involved the song Hit 'Em Up Style, so clicking that link brings you to a Google Drive document with the copy of the lyrics that was handed out in class. And so you can print those out if you want to, or just access them online. I'll go back to this one now. So other just small notes, any images can usually be enlarged. So this is, we played the game Language Ninja where we practice our roots and prefixes. And if you click on the picture, it makes it larger so that you can actually read what's on the slide if the font is too small. And then there were multiple images in this post, and so then it actually lists all of the images at the bottom. So there's a second slide in the directions for Language Ninja. And then as part of the class summary, these are the words that people came up with in the game. And then this is part of an activity that we did at the end of class. It was a discussion, so these were the rules for the discussion. So all of these are posted here, and then just click elsewhere to return to the page, and you can scroll through like that. In the homework section of these posts, I also often have a link to Pinnacle where people can access their grades. The freshman class does not use Pinnacle. We use Web2School, and I don't have a link for that. But I can show you on, let's say, English 10. We can go to their page. They also recently had a midterm. Everyone had midterms. But down here at the bottom are links to Pinnacle. So if you're in school, you can use this link for Pinnacle. If you're anywhere outside of the building, it's a different internet address. You can click on this one and get your grades. So it's an expectation that everybody checks the class site. That's a brief overview of how it works. I'm going to do another installment on how to find specific assignments or information on the class site. So if you're having trouble like really navigating and searching for things, you can check that video out. But that's all.